Okay, here we go.
V to the E to the D to the A. It's vlog every day in April. Yeah.
Yesterday I was in A&E all of the evening, and yeah, so I cycled yesterday to work, and while cycling I was listening to Hamilton, which is a bad thing to do while cycling because you get really amped up, and I was cycling quite fast because I wanted to get to work in 20 minutes. I wanted to listen to Hamilton, and it was really awesome and amping me up. And also I thought I hadn't really cycled very much in the last couple of days, so I thought, why not just do it, cycle, you can get this done. So I got to work, I was out of breath, my legs really hurt, and I was like, oh good, you know, well done, you've done well. And I got upstairs and I was chatting to a friend as we were walking upstairs, and I started getting a bit lightheaded. I was like, oh dear. You know, I'd eaten food, I had a breakfast, but good breakfast to start off with. And I was like, oh, I'm getting a bit lightheaded. And so I went to the bathrooms to get changed, for one, and also the second thing is just, I thought, you know, put a little bit of cold water on my face and neck, and that'll cool me off a little bit. And as I did that, my eyes started to go fuzzy, tunnel vision set in, roaring in my ears started, and yeah, I fainted. The fainting was quite interesting. It was kind of like flashes of like images were going off in my head. Like I don't remember a lot of them, but a lot of them were like Hamilton based. Like there was scenes from Hamilton, songs from Hamilton like playing really loudly in my brain. And my sister, I kept seeing images of my sister like at her job working, and there was a load of weird flashing lights and stuff. And then I woke up and I went, oh, I'm in bed, because obviously I'd woken up and I was like, oh, I'm going to be late for work, aren't I? You know, I just woke up. That was a weird dream. I cycled to work and then some weird stuff happened. But then I woke up, I actually, like, my eyes cleared and I found out I was on the floor in the bathroom. And I was like, oh, this isn't my bed. So I tried to get myself up, but it was the hardest thing in the world to get myself up. I felt like I had sandbags attached to all my limbs. But I grabbed the sink and I pulled myself up. And I fainted again. The whole me going from horizontal to vertical caused me to faint again. So it all set again, you know, tunnel vision, roaring in my ears. But this time I woke up and I was slumped against the wall instead. So for some reason I think I might have either like knew it was happening, or I just didn't collapse like the first time. I don't know. But yeah, I was against the wall instead. And so I leant against it for a bit, and I was very close to ringing a friend. I had my phone and he was at his desk. I knew he was at his desk. I was going to ring my friend Chris and be all like, Chris, can you get someone to come get me? But I was like, no, it's fine, I can get up. So I got my stuff, I stood up, I felt fine, and I went to my desk and I told my friends, I think I just fainted. And so they grabbed me and they went, you're going to lie down for a bit. And they made me lie down on the sofas. I got a sugary drink, I ate a banana, I felt fine. And I just had a bit of a headache, and I think my shoulders and neck really hurted from where I'd obviously in some way or other fell on the floor. So I don't know if I'd hit my head. I didn't feel any lumps or bumps or bruises on my head, so I was like, oh, you know, I'm not sure. No one was there because I was in the toilets, locked in a cubicle, so no one knew I'd done it or witnessed me doing it, so they didn't know if I'd hit myself. So yeah, so the whole day I just kind of, I got on with my day, my job, told a few people, you know, oh, I fainted, and everyone was like, oh, that's really funny, you're gonna have to write out an incident report. And I was like, oh, that's helpful. I was asked, can I survey tomorrow? So as I was planning where I was going and what I was doing, I thought it's probably a bad thing that I probably should get checked, because obviously I still had the headache. I had a headache the entire day yesterday, and I was like, I might need to get checked just to see if I'm okay, or if I'm okay to be on a construction site, if I'm okay to drive a big vehicle long distances. So I rang NHS 24/7 or NHS 24, and they kind of work on a tick box basis. So I answered the questions they had and all that, and they said it's probably fainting. Sounds very much like it's fainting, but also the fact that you've got a headache, the fact that you've never fainted before in your life. This was the first time I fainted, and also you fainted twice. We're going to get you to go to A&E and get yourself checked out. My line manager Louise drove me to the A&E in Falkirk, which was nice of her, very nice of her, because it's all the way out of her way, and so she had to drive an additional 40 minutes out of her way, which was nice. So yeah, I got there, and more or less straight away, apparently the NHS people had faxed all my details so that I was in the system already. So in about an hour, I'd been entered. I'd been given a bed in A&E. I had a CT scan of my brain, and I was back in A&E, and they'd taken blood samples. So yeah, in an hour they got quite a lot done. 2 hours later, and I was still sat in A&E doing nothing. I was told the CT scan was clear, so that's good, but I was worried why I was still waiting. So 2 hours went past, and then I got picked up by a porter, or an orderly, or whatever they're called, and he went, "Oh, you're going to a ward?" I was like, "I'm going to a ward?" He went, "Yeah, you're staying with us tonight, aren't you?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know. Am I staying with you? I've not been told anything." And I thankfully was able to contact people and let them know again. Seems like I'm staying tonight. And so yeah, I got to the ward, and about 6 hours after getting to the ward, every single hour I was being woken up and had like the concussion questions asked, like, where are you? What month is it? What's your birthday? All that kind of stuff. I had blood taken quite a few times. I've got quite a few bruised veins. And at the end of the day, this morning they struggled to get blood off me because I think they'd completely ruined my veins. Oh dear. But yeah, so every hour I was woken up and had the lights flashed on and a load of questions. I'm tired. I've had about 2 hours sleep collective. I was very bored as well. I didn't have a book to read or anything because I just had my work stuff, and oh well. Yeah, so about 6 hours later, about 4 in the morning, the doctor finally arrived to talk to me and did a once over of me and asked me again what happened. And then she said, we're keeping you in for concussion and also for the possibility that you might have a hemorrhage and a bleed in your brain. So I was like, oh, that's great. And I was like, well, it didn't show up on the scan. And they said, well, we just got to make sure. So that was nice. That was an interesting talk to know that I might have a bleed in my head. I don't worry. That's spoiler. I don't have a bleed in my head. So yeah, she did the whole once over, told me that, and she said in the morning the consultant will come and talk to you. Proper brain surgeon guy will come talk to you, and if needs be, we might need to do a what was it called? I don't bloody know. So basically they stick a big needle in your spine, take spinal fluids for detection. I think that's what they were planning on doing, but yeah, they said they might need that. But cute this morning, had the lovely cornflakes for breakfast. Oh, they gave me a toothbrush, which was very nice, so I got to brush my teeth and feel a bit more human. Yeah, the doctor came in, like the consultant doctor came in, and he basically said, yeah, he asked me to describe again what happened, and I did. And he basically said, yeah, all that happened was you had a concussion. All it is you fainted. It's textbook fainting. And just because the headache is most likely from where you landed, where you bent funny, like a tension headache from muscle pains from falling. It's got nothing to do with bleeds or hemorrhaging in your brain. You're fine. You've got no concussion. And he was basically saying like, oh, I don't see why they kept you in. They shouldn't have given you a scan. And I was there like, well, they did. I don't mind that they did. I'm glad that I'm completely in the clear. It's my brain. But yeah, so I got the all clear. I then got a taxi home, and I'm here. Work has given me the day off, so I'm going to spend it, well, the rest of it, just relaxing and chilling. So yeah, I'm sorry that these yesterday and today's videos are just going to be one video, but it's all I can do really, because I got some video of me in the hospital which I can show you, majority of it being me getting checked out in the A&E, and then me going to get the CT. I wish I'd videoed in the CT, that would have been cool, but not actually in it, but you watching me go in the CT scanner, but I didn't.
Your left arm out of your sleeve. So your left arm.
Left arm, sorry.
No, I'll point here, you take it. It's your arm.
Guys, just tell me what happened. I cycled into work. do a scan of my brain because they wore, yeah, so they just want to make sure everything's okay, so they scan my head. So I'll keep you guys informed. The great thing is I actually got to see pictures of my CT, like my brain, so I'll show you those there. And yeah, so that's my lovely things I've had to deal with for the last 24 or 48 hours. And yes, my brain is healthy and fine. I'm fine. It's all well and good. Right, I'm really tired. I'm going to leave this vlog here and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have an awesome day.